Today, you're gonna learn how to write and record this. Hey everyone, Gary Simon of slantaudio.com. Welcome to the new YouTube channel. I have a few videos, but just a few days ago, I released a tutorial on how to create this drum track that I'm using right here. So if I solo it, you can hear it. And we can also see if we go to FX, this is based on Superior Drummer 3, so you will need that. If you want to follow along, you can check out that video. But basically, we created this from scratch right here using the grid editor. All right, so what I did now for today's tutorial, which is the second part of a 3-part tutorial, is add rhythm, guitars, and bass. And so I'm going to show you my thought process behind creating this, this riff right here for the guitars. And also some music theory behind that. And then you're also going to see me record left and right while I'm on the green screen with my guitar, the guitars as well as the bass, and then we will EQ them afterwards. All right. So again, the third part of this series, which is coming up in a few days, is adding a lead solo guitar track on top of it. And so there's going to be alternate picking and some tapping as well. And it's pretty short because this is a short loop, but it's still enough to, where I think other people can gain something from it. All right. So make sure you check out slantaudio.com. There's project files there, and make sure you subscribe. So also, if you think I'm doing something wrong, trust me, I am by no means a freaking expert when it comes to recording, mixing, mastering, all that stuff. I'm into this shit like a hobby, essentially. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. All right, so to get started, I'm going to talk about music theory first and how I approached writing this, the riff here. And so the first thing, I was not thinking about music theory or scales or notes at all when I was trying to come up with the riff. I simply was playing the drum backing track that we created in the previous on loop, and I was just screwing around, honestly. And one of the processes that I used to do that is, the thing I was thinking about is right here. Let me load this up. Superior Drummer 3, and this is what we created, by the way, in the previous lesson, previous video on the YouTube channel. And I was thinking about the bass drum and trying to maybe align my downstrokes and upstrokes with, on my right hand picking with those bass drums. So if I play this, the first thing I did was this. And I was just trying to get a gather of, what notes I could play, and I was screwing around. I was going all over. I wasn't thinking about, whole steps and half steps and all of that. I was just kind of screwing around. And what I came up with, I realized after the end, and if you write anything that's cohesive, it can be explained through music theory. And it turned out that I was writing in E Locrian, and Locrian, of course, is one of the 7 modes. It is the 7th mode of the F major scale. So first, what does that mean exactly? Well, if we're talking about the major scale, otherwise known as the Ionian mode, which is the first mode, then it's a series of half steps and whole steps. So it's WWH, WWWH. So it looks like this. I'll play this on G just so it's a little bit closer up on the fret, but it's simply, all right. And that's the series of whole steps and half steps that make that up. Now, E Locrian, or the Locrian mode, forget about the E for now. Locrian is made up of these steps, which are HWW, HWWW. So on G Locrian would look like this. Oops, sorry. All right. So with that in mind, the F major scale, if we're just going to look at the first few notes, the F major scale looks like this. Forget about the other notes. Just focus on these ones. These right there. Just so happens that the riff that I created is made up of entirely of those notes. However, we're really emphasizing the E, which is just obviously run a half step down or the open string. So all right, so all of those notes, it's all of them, with exception that we're making the home, the primary note that we come back to being the E. Thus, it is E Locrian. But of course, it is a part of the F major scale. It has all the same notes. All right, so just to break down the structure, it's very simple. We have the open E with we also have on the second and third fret of the second, third strings here, or fifth and fourth if you want to look at it like that. Just a power chord, very simple. And then we're coming up to the third fret, then the fifth and sixth. Then I'm just doing a palm mute. So real slow. And as I'm doing the upstrokes on my right hand, I'm actually hitting the open E between those, so it's... Oops. I'm also doing on the upstrokes the open E as well. And that's it. Very, very, very simple. All right, so what I'm going to do is record it. And by the way, I should have prefaced, when I'm playing live with the backing track, as I'm playing live and you're watching my hands here, there's going to be a little bit of a delay. But when it goes to record and I play it back in the DAW, which is Reaper, you'll see there's no delay. But I could not get that delay out of there. All right, so I have a second track here. This is set to the guitar. As you can see, it's responding there. And then up here, all I'm going to do is just hit, we don't have to record that, hit record. I have to make sure my metronome's on. This is 120 beats per minute. All right, and I'll record a take that I like until until I get it going. Let's do this. Record. All right, I like that. We'll do the other track. Let's pan this about 80%. All right, that's good. Oh, this is the new track. There we go. And then we'll arm this one, input 2, and give it another go. All right, I'm not sure if I screwed up that last part. Let's check that out. I think it's fine. I already have a version of this whole thing that I liked, but this is just for demonstration anyhow. All right, so that's good to me right there. Let's listen to both of them real quick, the whole thing. All right, cool. I like it. So now I'll get out the bass guitar and we'll add a bass track. All right, so I have my bass. I'm not going to be playing with my fingers because I cannot play this really fast part. It's not really fast, but this fast part up here. I cannot do that with my with my fingers. So I'm using a pick. Now, when you're using a pick for metal guitar, you got to hit it hard. So I'm going to be really striking this hard. So I'm just following the same exact notes. I'm not doing anything fancy, sticking on the E string, and that is it. All right, so let's go ahead. Oh, and by the way, you know, everything's going through a Kemper here. I have some, it's called WD Metal Bass Drive. I really cranked up the gain to halfway. I hope it sounds good. So let's get this going here. Let's hear that. All right, cool. I hit my strings by accident there. I think that's good. It's not perfect, but just for the demonstration purposes of this, it'll be fine. I already have one version I recorded already that I like, and it's probably better than this one, but you get to see the process either way. So now I'm going to get rid of the guitar, and we're going to hop here and work specifically in the DAW to try to make this sound better, because we're just dealing with the raw sound. We have not mixed anything yet. All right, so let's do that. All right, so now what I'm going to do is we're going to work on getting the guitars first sounding correct. I'm going to insert a new track though, and it's going to receive these two tracks, the left and right guitar, and that way you only have to place one set of effects plugins instead of messing around with both of them. So I'm going to hit route, and we're going to add a new receive. So right guitar and also left guitar. And then on this route for each one, we don't want to send it to the master. And there we go. So now when we play this, cool. And then we can just solo this as well, and we can just hear just the guitars. All right, so what I'm going to do, first I have to preface this. I am not a pro mixer, masterer, anything like that. I think I've got to the point where I can definitely make them sound a lot better than what they are. So I'll just leave it at that. And if I'm doing something that you think is, or you know is wrong, correct me. Yeah, go ahead, leave a message in the comments. So I'm just going to use pretty much one thing, and that is going to be re-EQ right here. All right. So the first thing I do is drop off a lot of the low ends, kind of right here around 50. So let's hit play here. So if I turn this off, there's a slight difference. All right, and I'm going to drop off a lot of the high ends. Perhaps right around there. I'm going to add a band, and we're going to go right around 5K-ish. I'm going to pull this up, take the bandwidth down a lot to try to get rid of hissing. All right, so right around there, so we just drop it down a bit. I'll add another band. Right around 3K, I believe. All right. I think I'm pretty happy with that, actually. So let me remove that. I'm just gonna make this band a little bit wider. This is what it sounded like without it. I'll let it root back here real quick. Then I'm gonna scoop this right around there, about the 1K. All right, let's give this a look. Listen. All right, that's kind of close to what I did originally. I think probably what the original result that you heard at the very beginning of this video is probably the best one. but I'm going to leave it like that for now. All right, and then we're going to come down here to the bass, and we're going to add the same thing. So re-EQ. All right, the bass as well. You don't need the ultra low frequencies down here, and you don't need anything high. So let's go ahead, and I'm going to turn this off initially. All right. Now, one thing I want to clean up is, let's see here. We're going to clean up the spaces in between. So what we'll do is, it starts right here. Don't need any of this. All right, so we hit play. All right. One thing that's screwing me up is my left monitor is actually on the floor, because usually it'd be in the way of the camera. So I'm only hearing things from the right monitor. It's making it a little bit difficult for me to determine if I like what I hear from the guitars. They almost sound like quite a bit too muddy, I think, possibly, in my opinion. All right. Well, I'm not going to get too picky. Let's see. Then we'll use the split tool, or the S key, to trim up the blank sections from the middle. So I'm coming right here where we have snap on, of course, right here. And I know this measure ends right here. So I'm just going to hit S. Oops. S and S right here, as well as S, S, and S right there. Keep on doing the same thing over. And then I believe it ends right here, actually, on the end. And then I'll just take this, all that stuff, and then we'll loop it from, let's see, here, left clicking and dragging to there. Or we could add a compressor also onto the this part is extra loud on the bass. But I think once we do the third video, which is going to be dealing with the lead solo that I'm going to have over this, we'll probably let it play first, like we hear it here, and then a solo will come in after where it just repeats this. Here, I'll get that up in a few days after this video. We'll probably try to tighten things up more, because unfortunately right now, the way my setup is, I can't hear things very well. Plus, I can't have the speakers too loud, then it picks up on the microphone. I'm pretty happy with it otherwise, from what I hear so far, just for being something I threw together really quickly like this. All right. So make sure, I'm going to have this project file, the Reaper project file, plus I think I may release a tab for the next video just for the solo. This is very easy. I don't think you need a tab for that. But yeah, so make sure if you enjoyed this, if you have anything else to offer during my process or input, make sure you comment here on YouTube. Also, make sure to subscribe. I'm not stopping uploading anytime soon. And yeah, so look out for that third video where I already have the lead created, and it's going to be fun. There's some alternate picking, and then there's some tapping as well. All right, see you guys later.